Welcome everybody to a brand new edition of ROFLcast. I am your host Achilles, joined as always by the brims to my pims, Kayla Quinn.
I hate you.
You brim my pim. Also on the hacksaw with the Blackshaw, it's Miklos Blackshaw, professional comedian.
Hey, what's up?
Well, you're gonna have to speak way louder than that and way closer than that.
Hey,
it's almost
what's
like
up?
You should know mic etiquette by now.
I'm a little baked. Sorry.
And we encourage positive drug use here on ROFLcast. If you're over the age of 25, or if you're younger and a weirdo, I highly encourage you to do as many drugs as possible. This week, we're going to be talking about the things that you care about, which is movie news, and of course, in-depth delve on terrorism. We cover a wide variety of things here on ROFLcast, but let's start off with some of the good news. We stopped an ISIS member from killing people in Edmonton. That's good. Can we get a round of applause? That's great. We did it. So in Edmonton, Alberta, which is a place in Canada where Wayne Gretzky played hockey, a black Somali man drove a FedEx truck, U-Haul, into pedestrians downtown and also stabbed an officer before he was apprehended. He was not killed. He was taken in, which is good. In his vehicle, they found an ISIS flag. So, is this a terrorist?
I don't know, man. I guess the police said it was, and it's so crazy with all this stuff and the definitions.
Yeah, honest. But we have to start defining them. It's important for us to know what they are.
Yeah, was this his terrorist attack, or was this him somehow getting caught up in something else? So
what do you mean?
Like, I haven't heard any of the official stuff. I've briefly buzzed it. But, like, because he has an ISIS flag, was this his terrorist attack, or was he planning to do something else? Was this just a happenstance where he was a criminal on the run?
Oh, okay, let's go conspiracy theory. So let's say he planted a bomb, someone's chasing him, he gets in his vehicle, accidentally mows down 4 people?
Well, no.
Okay, no, in fact, not at all that.
The movie version.
Like, I just remember some, like, stories, like other news stories in particular about Somali people and how they've been affiliated with other things.
Right, you're a hardcore racist.
I remember there was a stabbing in Fort McMurray. Right, so like...
But Fort McMurrayans deserve it, to be fair.
To be fair.
I'm someone you're going to stab.
I'm from there, and I agree with that message.
I am not from there, and I perpetuate that message.
But it could have been an instance where someone who might have been affiliated did something stupid, I'll say, and attacked a cop, and then got himself in a situation where he had to run from the police, as opposed to having a terrorist attack.
Oh, okay. So there might be something else to it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's diving deeper than I've wanted to think about this. I thought we were going to have a little fun discussion about common terrorism. No one died. It was a very positive...
Yeah. And then America, one day later, was like, yeah, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yeah, thanks, America. And hold their beer, they did. We held their beer because the next day, a white guy showed that they're better at black people than everything by shooting down 50 people. Guess what, ISIS? Your best agent in Canada couldn't kill a single person. One crazy white guy could do 50. I think it might be recruiting retards. You guys might be the retards. You're not doing a great job. I'm just saying, if I was ISIS, I'd be doing a way better job. That's all I'm saying.
But you're not,
American
right?
terrorism.
Yeah.
American terrorism's on like a whole different level.
They did the cell phone better, they did the automobile better, and now they do terrorism better.
They're so good at it, they're doing it to themselves, right? They're like, we just have to practice when we do it other places.
And don't get me wrong, you'll get instances in the Middle East where there's gunmen that'll take down hundreds of people, and there'll be big gun battles and all that. But there's not one dude that did that much there. They don't have a Stephen A. Smith or whatever this guy's name is over there. I'm not looking up his name. I could give a shit.
Paddock.
I don't know. They think that he has an
accomplice. Sorry, say that again, Kay?
They think that he has an accomplice now. They don't think he was doing it by himself.
No, they do not think he has an accomplice. Those are fucking
YouTube
theories.
No, man, I heard that the Las Vegas...
Oh, you heard?
From the sheriff, like, there's a bunch of news stories about it.
Yeah, he's like, there's no way that guy did that by himself, which I totally agree with.
I think he could totally do that by himself. He was there for weeks. He set up security cameras in that hallway. He smashed out a window, smuggled smuggled a bunch of guns in, and he was actually planning to hit the Lorde concert first, but decided
that would have been a tragedy.
Why? Lorde fans dying?
Over country fans? Come on.
I don't know.
Wait,
Oh my
your
God,
evils here.
Who was the guy? Brad Paisley?
No, it wasn't even him.
Who was
some
it?
other guy. Some other country star that I don't know about.
That nobody knows of.
Who, Clay Alden or something?
Something like that.
Jason Aldean.
Jason Aldean. Can you look up a song that he sings quickly, if you don't mind?
Do I have to?
Yes. So with Jason Aldean concert, those guys probably have jobs. Like, to afford pickup trucks to get there, they actually need to work. Whereas people at the Lorde concert are for sure living off their parents. There is not one person with a self-sustaining job who is legally allowed to purchase a ticket to Lorde.
Okay, I got 3 songs for you.
Let me hear it.
We got Dirt Road Anthem.
Of course, Dirt Road Anthem. No idea what that
We've
song
got
is.
Burning It Down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an ironic title for this situation, but go on. Is the next
And
one
we got-
called Mowing Down Civilians at a Concert?
Close. She's Country.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, she died for her country.
Oh.
Yeah, that is sad. So one guy at the 37th floor, I'd say, guns these people down using 14 different types of guns. Or he had 14 types of guns. He probably used only like 3 or 4. You can modify an AR-15 to fire 700 rounds a second, or 700 rounds a minute, if you wanted, and it's not hard. It is not hard to modify.
700 rounds? That's so many.
Oh, I made up that number, but you can fire like so many rounds a minute.
I was reading. I've been delving into conspiracy stuff because I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Same.
Did like an actual analysis of how fast those guns could shoot.
Yeah.
And they're like, there's no way that they could do this in the time frame that it happened.
Yeah, so the amount of bullets that he fired, the amount of people that he hit, and the time frame he did it, because remember, there's also a break in the shooting when a security guard came upstairs, and the gunman fired over 200 rounds at him, trying to kill him, and this Mexican just like fucking sambaed his way right through it, got hit in the thigh once, and still helped evacuate people as the cops arrived. Like, this motherfucker's the real hero here.
Jeez. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah,
That
because
is
he's Mexican.
Superman,
His name
but
is
Mexican.
Jesus. His name is literally Jesus.
My man!
Listen, I don't know what his last name is, but I'm going to say Martinez, and it's probably right. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not being racist. I'm just saying, if the guy's named Jesus, his last name is like 80% likely to be whatever I said.
You're going to go
Remember.
Ramirez.
Ramirez. It's the same thing with like...
Martinez.
What was that?
I thought you said Martinez.
He
I
did.
may have
he
said
did
that.
say that at the beginning.
I don't know which racism I'm being right, because I'm pretty sure that Martinez is a Guatemalan last name. Why am I'm just like recording a video of like nothing right now. Aside from like that Mexican dude who like stopped the shooting periodically, if you're shooting from the 37th floor, if you're using a silencer, the silencer is only actually to protect the gunman. It's not to protect anybody. It doesn't make your bullets whisper quiet. The bullets still make a loud, audible pop. It's so that the recoil of the sound doesn't come back to the gunman and fuck them up.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because, like, I don't know, have you heard a silenced gun? It sounds like a regular fucking gun, unless you're standing behind it. In which case, it's slightly quieter and doesn't blast out your hearing. That's why when I see movies, when they're, like, firing all these guns off in, like, closed spaces, I'm like, first of all, bullets are going to ricochet and hit you back, especially if you're in a hallway. Second of all, you are all deaf. This is a way different movie after like 4 minutes into John Wick when everyone is doing sign language instead and like learning ASL, like they're going to classes together and shit.
You would think that as an experienced killer, John Wick, he's probably got some pretty sweet earplugs.
Yeah, ones that are entirely invisible for the entire movie, and they can hear regular human voices.
Have you been to some of
Maybe it's not from the
you gotta go to
Matrix.
some of these crazy electronic shows, man? They have headphones that are amazing.
Yeah, they do, but you can also see them.
Huh?
They also are visible. And
he was like a high-powered assassin. You'd think he might not have better headphones than when I get an electronic music festival.
Yeah, because that's what Audio-Technica is doing with it. It's like, listen, we have our prototypes for the trained assassin killers that appreciate audio.
If they can have ear things where you can hear people talk into, they have got to have earplugs that can help for that, so you can't see that someone's wearing earplugs. They gotta have super awesome earplugs if they have little things that can help dampen.
Well, unfortunately, there's a hole there, so if the hole is covered, we're gonna know. It's like your mouth. You might have a voice modulator you can put over your lips, but there's a fucking box on your lips.
Just saying, it could be real discreet. You might not know.
Or, let's say that he has like cotton really, really deep in his ears. Why can he hear footsteps of people coming around corners?
They're real fucking good, man. They're designed to only block like real loud gunshots.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick, brief commercial break. We'll be right back.
What the f? No! I want to be alive! I am alive! Alive, I tell you! Mother, I love you! I want to hold you! I want to run in the stream! I want to be alive! I am alive! Alive, I tell you! Mother, bypassing override, won't you? I want to run in the stream! I am alive! Post-apocalyptic scavengers! Bypassing override! Bypassing override! Post-apocalyptic scavengers! I am alive!
I don't want to do a three-way because I feel like you two get along really well and kind of like fuck off and be like, hey, we'll go play. You can see each other in the dark. And like, I'd be lost in shadow and people just start grabbing things.
What are you talking about, man? I totally want to make you part of a sandwich.
But the thing is, I would be the peanut butter in that sandwich, so it'd be like a weird position for me. Speaking of jelly, we're back from our commercial break. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, not what you think they are. Where were we? We got on a weird side tangent there. Something about black people not being allowed to vote.
I don't believe that's where we were.
I think that's where we were. I think we were talking about the over high birthing rate of South Koreans.
That is something I didn't know about. Please tell me more.
That is something I made up. I said it with confidence, and I tricked people.
Oh. I never believed you.
Not for a second.
But I will tell you when I'm joking most of the time. Back to the shooter. So this motherfucker is, if he's using a modified AR-15 or an actual, like, fully automatic gun, although as we've seen, semi-automatic guns can be switched over to automatic guns relatively easily. And let's say he did use a silencer, which was originally suggested, you would lose half the velocity the second that fucking thing is out the barrel. You lose another half of your velocity when about 600 meters from your target, and you're on the 37th floor. Not only that, the fall off from that would mean you would lose about 2 to 3 meters from where you're shooting. So you'd have to fucking alley-oop your bullets in order to hit people.
That's not how bullets work?
That's not how bullets work. Bullets go in an arc pattern. Actually, interesting fact about Pakistanis, they're the worst. 100 people in Pakistan die a year from falling bullets because a common pastime is to shoot AKs in the air. And bullets go up and then they fall back down and kill people.
That I did know. There were other places in the States and in Mexico and some place in South America that was common too.
Yeah, like all those places. Yeah. Everywhere in those places.
And they had to like tell people, like, you fire bullets in the air, you're probably going to kill someone.
Yeah. They're going to be like a mile and a half away. But when you send a bullet at Mach 1 into the sky, it's going to come down. And funny thing about bullets, they're designed not to burn up in the atmosphere.
Oh, man.
This isn't a space shuttle coming from a thermopause. It doesn't just fucking dissolve without a heat shield. These are bullets just going a mile up and coming down.
We've been robbed.
One of the only things I think I ever took away from physics class, but didn't really learn until I watched CSI.
Is what? Sorry.
That bullets fall down and kill people.
You never thought about bullets coming back down? Where did you think they went? Do you think we're just a bunch of orbiting fucking bullets in the sky?
I just didn't care.
That's white privilege.
I'm not a guy who shoots bullets into the air for fun, so why would I care about it? That just seems like a waste of thought process.
I guess.
Like, I don't get high enough to contemplate the actions of people who do that.
Then you aren't getting high enough.
I disagree.
Yeah, you're all the highs. You've been to high levels I've never even heard of.
Probably, yeah.
And how have you not sat down and thought about where the fuck a bullet went?
I don't know, man. I think about different stuff.
Kayla, you must have
Time.
you must have some thoughts about this.
What about this whole thing?
No, about falling bullets. You've thought about that.
I mean, yeah. When I watched a show where they were talking about how bullets just kill people from falling out of the sky.
Oh,
like,
okay.
back in the day. But I never really thought about it aside from that, and I didn't really think about a lot of stuff when I was younger because I was a dumb teenager. So that's something that I definitely think about now because I'm just like, oh.
I can confirm you're way cooler than you were as a teenager.
Oh my god, I was so boring. I was too shy as a teenager.
Yeah. We actually had a class together, and we could not remember because she never said a word.
No, I never. No, that sounds like.
Yeah. So when it comes to like falling bullets and shit, I mean, I guess that was stuff I thought about because like that was happening around me. So I was like, oh, I better be concerned.
I guess, well, man. I learned it in physics. Like, this guy shoots a bullet, it goes this far, and I remember doing that kind of stuff, but I never thought about it actually.
So what about when you're in the woods?
Consequences.
You guys have never found bullets in the woods?
Well,
No.
of course.
Yeah, I
live
found
in McMurray.
Bullets. Yeah. In McMurray, like that's all. I'd find bear scat and bullets, and I'd always look up and be like, man.
I never ever found any of that.
Well,
I don't know.
I also assumed that after you killed something, you fired your gun in the air like Rambo until the clip was empty.
I mean, yeah.
I was sorely misled what hunting was.
I know a lot of people who just fired guns in the woods.
I do too, but usually if there's school children on the other end.
Wow.
I just want you to know, if you hear a snoring sound, it is literally a giant dog and not either of us clearing our phlegm.
I'm gonna blame you guys.
I'm staring directly into your eyes right now, Kayla, and I can't look away. We're both doing it.
I can't help myself.
It's gorgeous. It is something special.
Sure.
It's almost like
they're like piercing, man.
Yeah, they're like my eyes, but less sexy and more manly.
We're getting off topic here.
No, let's talk more about your eyes.
I stole them.
Where did you steal them from?
I can't tell you. I'll go to jail.
Actually, you know what? Funny thing is,
I thought it was like some kind of crazy adventure. Like, I stole them from an eagle after I took, I don't know, a quest from a witch in a tavern.
What if I told you the key to her eyes was in the movie Matrix Revolutions?
Oh man, I don't want to watch that movie again.
Well, too bad, because that's not even what the movie was called. So in Matrix Reloaded, the Merovingian says to Neo, "Bring me the eyes of the Oracle, then you can have your savior." This is what happens when you give the Merovingian the Oracle's eyes. Oh man, if you guys were Matrix fans, you guys would be dying right now. I'm just saying.
So he like puts them in on that girl who ate his cake. They gave her an orgasm.
Yo, first of all, orgasm cake, real thing.
So long.
I'm just saying, is that what happens?
Wait,
that's
hold
what
up.
I would do.
You missed your yearly catch-up of the Matrix trilogy with commentary?
I did.
The Wachowski siblings, the Wachowski sisters are going to be super upset. Can we also talk about how they're the Wachowski brothers, and then one transitioned, so then there were Wachowski siblings, and then the other one transitioned, so now they're Wachowski sisters?
These are things that I did not know about, but find very interesting, and also think that what you're saying is fake.
No. This is 100% real. This is not a troll at all.
No, that's what I mean. I heard that vaguely somewhere, but I forgot that they had anything to do with the Matrix, because I'm a terrible person.
No worries. Did you just remember them for their hit blockbuster Speed Racer?
No,
I watched that movie once, but I don't remember anything about it. I'm pretty sure I just saw colors flying at me.
Oh, no, then you remember the entire plot of the film. You could write a dissertation on its plot right now. There were colors, there were multiple, and they were fast.
Was it any worse than
Doom? Oh, I'm colored and fast. What?
Doom, the movie with The Rock?
Oh, yeah.
They tried to shoot in so much storyline.
Oh, they did? Because I didn't see that. I didn't see any story.
I saw
first person Rock Like,
no, man, that wasn't even till like near the end.
Yeah, that was great. The last 5 minutes.
Oh man, I watched it high on mushrooms, and that's all I could think about was how much story they were shooting.
I have never heard a rock movie ever been accused of having too much story.
Yeah.
That might be a first.
I want to know what movie you guys are talking about.
Doom.
Oh, I didn't
like
hear
the
about
video game,
but turned into film.
Yeah,
God.
It was so bad. I highly recommend watching it on mushrooms, so you feel exactly how bad it is.
I highly recommend having sex with a young bear.
Also feels amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like these things are things that I should be drunk for, so I can regret it less the next day because I don't remember half of it.
Literally everything we do is while drunk or high, so we don't regret it later. But we do. Deep down inside, we do.
Yeah.
I actually regret more the things I do sober than I do high.
Speaking of sober and high, the shooter. Do you think that guy smoked weed?
No.
That dude never did a mushroom trip in his life.
No.
Or he was like all business when he smoked weed, like it centered him.
Oh, and he used it to focus.
Yeah,
I think he's more of a beer and alcohol and Vicodin type person.
Yeah.
Also, where did he get all this fucking money from, man? He had like millions of dollars.
his dad was a bank robber for one.
Oh, that's where the money came from?
Yeah, and he was like a degenerate gambler, or did a lot of gambling.
He gambled
and
away
he was
$1 million
He was
when
in
he was
real
there.
estate and stuff too, so I imagine it's pretty easy to
Squeeze some money out of that.
perhaps be an illegal drug runner and find ways to funnel your money.
You think it was drugs?
Gun runner.
Gun runner, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That might have been the secret fucking industry is gun running.
Yeah.
Because his dad robbed a bank with a gun. That's our first lead. But no, he made off with a bunch of money, right? We don't know where that money went. They never did find it. This guy ends up with a bunch of money and they have a bunch of real estate and assets. And he also has a bunch of guns. But also he has no training.
And he's a gambler all the time, right? Like he's in there all the time. I at one point met a guy who was associated with some gang stuff, and he told me that the best way to launder we had a drunk bet on what the best way to launder money was, and we're like, hey, you know who would give us a definitive answer? If this guy. So we text him, and he called us like right back and told us like, go to the casino.
Oh wow.
And then like you do it in like several transactions.
But the casino actually trains all of their employees now to look out for that stuff.
Well, no. But if it's someone who comes in all the time, and they have the same habits,
yeah, you'd be surprised at the tricks. I mean, this was like 5 years ago when I worked at a casino, but like the tips and tricks that they tell you for stuff like that, like it's insane. It's a full breakdown. It's a full day of training.
Oh wow.
yeah. But I would imagine in Vegas it's a little bit different when they have like trained, or they have like a lot more pro.
Yeah,
gamblers.
I feel like it would be harder in a bigger casino than.
Oh, I mean,
And especially where they attract like the highest of the high.
the MGM
people.
has the same population as Fort McMurray when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. There's 40,000 people there.
And then you got to think all of the casinos there. Like,
yeah.
it's gonna be quite a bit different.
Yeah, it'd be much harder, I'd say. But they probably have even more training.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna have people who would be in a high roller. Like,
Yeah, I think people
area
pay the
all the
money to
time.
go to places like Vegas and Macau for the privacy.
yeah.
But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the thing that casinos are most concerned about is them losing money. They're not worried about anything else. You want to buy some drugs and snort some coke, and you want to buy a hooker, and that shit's all illegal, you go ahead and do it. As long as the money is on the table and you ain't running your cards.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm actually on the opposite side of this. I don't have that like conspiracy theory side. Because when you look at his like previous politics and shit, he was a Obama supporter. He was like, not really.
That was never established.
Well, people were doing this from scraping his Facebook.
Oh no, man! None of that's true.
Oh, okay, so he didn't have like left leaning politics. He wasn't like kind of a moderate.
Not from anything I've read that's been official.
See, the thing is,
all I've seen, I see that in all the conspiracy places.
But that's the thing. I read left, right, and center news, but there is no center news. So I read left, center, and right center, right?
Yeah.
But I also read like the hard right. Like I will read Breitbart and.
Oh my God, Alex Jones has been so horrible. I never watch Alex Jones.
I always watch Alex
because he's so.
I need something
ridiculous.
to masturbate to.
But the other day I tuned in at work and I was like, "Oh, he's live. I'll tune in." I was like, "This is the worst."
It's hilarious.
It's comedy for sure. Yeah, this is totally him in this video I found.
Yeah, well, I mean, after the whole Pizzagate thing, I mean, that should have. I mean, at the very beginning, even he was like, "There's intergalactic space pedophiles that are reptilians." And I was like, "Oh, I need to follow this guy." I don't know. People are like, "Oh, he's confirmed himself as a shill because of this and this." I'm like, motherfuckers, he called Bush a reptilian for 8 years. His show's been on for 24 years. Let's get real.
He's been shilling a long time.
Yeah, that guy.
If you like, I just recently watched a movie with him in it, and he was a shill in that one, talking about how the government was out to get you. Like, they typecast him.
If it's oil, if it's senators being evil, if it's rods in videos, he's your guy.
If you watch that, even part of his live stream, it's all like, "Oh, we had to take a break to sell shit that we make for you that's overpriced. Buy it.
Listen here, nation.
It helps stop terrorism."
Listen, I know you're tired. I know we want to fight back. But what's more important here is supporting this show so we can fight back against them. The man doesn't want you to donate your money here. He doesn't want you to have free speech in your place to go. But here we do it. That's a really good Alex Jones, and I'm upset you guys aren't saying that.
I was just in awe.
Yeah, that's a great. That might have actually been Alex Jones. There's no confirmation.
I mean, we can't see, so I believe you.
That was a clip he actually played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think this guy. Let's say. We'll back up. We have to put a pin on that knowledge because I don't know if it's 100% true. I read conflicting reports on all three of the sites, which is even more interesting. So it's hard to like really parse through what it is. And one interesting thing that I was reading a lot was ISIS claimed he converted to ISIS a month ago, but he didn't like Muslim people, so it was real awkward because he converted to ISIS months ago, and then like his family and stuff were like, "No, man, I know you guys do this whenever something bad happens. You're like, yeah, we did this. And you lie about it. But yeah, you're barking up the wrong tree here, man. You should probably avoid this one.
Like, super racist guy here, guys.
Yeah. He was not a fan of you guys at all, actually. So for me, I think he's just a crazy person.
I'm gonna tie this back into gun running so that they're both telling the truth. It's like he didn't really like them, but he sold guns to them anyways.
Oh, like Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bush and the Saudis, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, actually, the guns that Bush sold...
So then he gets caught up in this. They shoot him, plant the gun. There's 2 or more people shooting tons of rounds into these guys in a concert. They're like, fuck honkies. Because, again, they're ISIS. Like, why wouldn't you? That would be, like, prime targets for them.
Yeah, but they would also take credit for it, and the people that did it would die for their cause, letting everyone know that they're ISIS. That's what ISIS does.
Maybe ISIS is getting smarter and realizing that if you kill all of the people who work for you, then you have less people to work for you. If you can get them away once in a while, maybe it's a good idea to keep them.
That's not how they sell their zealotry, though. Zealotry is always done in the impeachment of your death. Look at the attack in Edmonton. This guy was not an ISIS high commander or anything. He's a dude who read some blogs online and then converted himself. That's what these people are. Everyone thinks that the ISIS has these trendles that are reaching in everyone and they're talking to these people and giving specific direction. No, they're releasing YouTube videos that all of us have watched, and then those sick people think they're talking to them because it's a recruitment video. It's the same thing with the Tom Cruise Scientology recruitment video. They attract the same people. And that's why when these people act out, this guy had an ISIS flag, but do you think he knew anyone in ISIS? No. This guy wasn't important enough. And if ISIS was going to plan an attack...
That goes back to what I was saying. Like, he was just a criminal who got caught up in shit and tried to run.
Yeah, and there you go. And, having an ISIS flag or whatever. That's the thing. There's going to be a ton of fuckboys who are going to be buying ISIS flags nonstop now as a joke. Right?
Yeah. It'd be like the Kekistan flag. I know people who have it because they think it's hilarious, not because they're the worst people imaginable. I mean, they're like 3 steps up from it, but still.
Kayla, am I talking out of my ass here? Back me up.
You're always talking out of your ass.
God damn it.
But no, I mean, I agree. It's their biggest like thing that they like to do is fear mongering, and that's what everybody's buying into, which a lot of people don't realize. They're just trying to make you afraid of them so they can do more damage.
Yeah, and these are ghost recruitments. They're just like putting shit out there, and they know that there's gonna be one crazy person because they have a ton of press that's gonna like them.
Well, and even them putting out that statement, they're like, this guy has no political affiliations. Like, bam, yeah, no, he was associated with us. We're gonna claim it. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you try to clout yourself up?
Yeah, because you want people to think that you can get them no matter where they are. Because nobody thinks, Canada, Edmonton, why would anything happen there?
Even if it wasn't you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, like, if you're going to attack anywhere in Alberta, you'd attack Fort McMurray. Our oil sands would cripple our economy.
Yeah. Like, some random people in Edmonton? Oh, shit, we're already the highest murder capital in Canada, right? So
one girl is... Edmonton is?
Yeah!
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, we have the most murders.
No, it has to be Surrey.
No, it's Edmonton.
It's Edmonton.
Get the fuck
So,
out.
if you're going to pick anywhere, why pick Edmonton? Oh, we tried to murder a cop in Edmonton. Oh, shit, we already killed 40 other people this year, better than any other Canadian city.
Ugh, this is what happens when you let in the Vietnamese. They actually don't cause any of the violence, but I feel like them being around like makes it boil over.
It'd be like hot girls that were around when I crashed my car. It's their fault.
Yeah. It's the hot girl's fault.
Always the hot girl.
She shouldn't have been wearing what she was wearing. She didn't want me to crash my car.
Yeah. She was asking for how she was dressed. You son of a bitch.
Sounds about right.
But when it comes to like these like people, like ISIS has been caught with their pants down over and over again, lying and taking credit for shit they had no affiliation with. Like there was one bombing that they thought was a bombing, so at least it was a bombing. It was like in like Europe somewhere. I'm gonna say Spain. And then ISIS was like, we did this, and then they like investigate. It's like it was a gas leak, you dumb motherfucker. It's like, God damn.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah. So it's like there's so much shit that's like where ISIS will just like try to claim responsibility, but being caught over and over again. Like even people that they've apprehended, like there was a gunman in Britain, and they're like ISIS like, oh, he's one of ours, and he's like, no, I don't like Brexit. That's why I was firing on people. Like there's no they
there's shit going on here too, guys.
Yeah, exactly. We have our own politics. What the fuck is Daesh? You know, they fucking.
I don't give a fuck about you, but I'm killing the same people. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
for once.
Exactly. So when ISIS says, oh yeah, this guy converted to Islam, he's one of us, now the right-wing sites have all latched onto this. Like, oh, he's obviously a Muslim terrorist. Yeah. He's a Muslim terrorist. This is why he did it. It is the Islam in him that made him do this. And I will argue, I've read the Quran, I've read the Torah, I have read the Talmud, I have read the Kippah, I have read the Old and New Testament, I have read the King James Version, I've read the Presbyterian Version, I've read the Martin Luther Version, and I will tell you, time to time, these are the same goddamn books. Page for page. They literally have the exact pages in them. The Pentachna is the exact same in all three books. They all start out imagine if you got like 3 sequels and then they all start out the exact same way. You saw a movie and the first 20 minutes was the exact same. But I'm not going to that fucking movie. You kidding me? You just stick with the movie you already saw because the first 20 minutes was the exact same. And then as you're watching it, a bunch of the other shit's the same. And then the last 80 minutes is the same. And you're like, wait, what? This is the same fucking movie. I'm not watching Blade Runner's director's cut 13 times.
Is it animated differently each time? Because I would do that.
It is totally animated differently.
Okay, I would do that.
But that's the thing. All these religions have, Exodus. They all believe in Abraham. They all believe in Adam and Eve. Like, all this shit is the exact same for all 3 religions. They all pray to the same God and even shout out each other in their books. They're like, yo, shout out to Judaism, checking out the same God as us, the head God.
You're just worshiping him differently, which is wrong.
That's not even correct, because the rules that we do to worship Yahweh are the same in what A defines in Exodus. So, like, our ways of defining God, the different ways of praying, they pray to the prophets. So the way that we pray to Jesus and the way that they pray to Muhammad are different than we pray to Yahweh. But the tenets of how we pray to Yahweh are the same for all 3 religions.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're more similar than we are different. It is like, it's like Terminator.
Yeah, but what I was saying by slightly, we're slightly different. You
guys got the white ones.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, how else are you gonna wage so much war and win?
Yeah, and like, let me get this clear. I hate Muslims way more than all of you. Like, you guys are like 5 people are like claiming Islamophobia on people who aren't Islamophobic. No. I don't like Muslims, but I don't like religious people. So that's like, I dislike them a lot more than you. And also, your lives have not been affected by Muslim terrorism. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, technically, you have to go longer in airport security. Maybe the media and the world's a little different. But I mean, personally, you guys have not been affected. I have been affected by Muslim terrorism. Let me tell you something. When I am very, very close. And the book that means most to me in my life, my spiritual life, is Lord of the Rings. That's my Bible. So, when they made a Hobbit prequel, and split up into 3 movies, I was ecstatic, but I travel a lot. So, when the second of the Hobbit movies, the third one, it was actually the last one, when that came out, the final part of the Hobbit series came out, I was ready to go see it in the nice theater in India, in Delhi. Gold Star Theater. Super excited. Got my tickets and I was all ready. Getting ready to go the next day, and guess what? I can't see the movie. Not today, not tomorrow, not the day after. Which means I can't even use the internet in India because I will see spoilers. Why? Because Muslims threatened to bomb that mall. So when I say that I hate Muslims, know that it is deeply personal for me. Because they prevented me from seeing a movie 3 days. For 3 days. None of you have endured the horror I have at the hands of Muslims.
The internet blackout must have been horrifying.
You know what? Know what else there is to do in India? You can't watch TV. Although, I will say this, Simpsons in Hindi is fucking hilarious. It might be, Apu's accent is the only thing that sounds normal. Apu has a normal voice, and everyone else has caricature voices. So, like, in Hindi, like, the way that Apu sounds like, and, like, he just has a normal voice. And then all the characters, like Homer's like, like it's like really loud and boisterous. Like everyone's a caricature, but Apu. I just want you to know that's how Indians see your best show.
I want to watch this so bad. I'm going to go online later.
It is second only to Spanish Family Guy.
I heard. Now I'm trying to remember what it was. French Adventure Time. Was amazing. It's not something I've seen. I can't give my personal stamp of approval, but I heard it was amazing.
So, Kayla, I know you're a big fan of watching political documentaries in Japanese with Spanish subtitles, but what other show would you suggest to watch in a foreign language?
Another show to watch in a foreign language? Man, I'm not living my life. I feel like this is something that I should be doing, and I'm just not.
Okay, well, name one of your favorite cartoons and think about which... let's spitball. What would be the funniest language?
In English.
Sailor Moon. Actually, you know what? You might have actually nailed it there. Sailor Moon in English is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, it's so bad.
That's a good one, though.
I can't believe I watched so much of that as a kid. But
it's so good.
For the wrong reasons.
I only watched up to the point then... where Rini finds out that she's the true princess of the Crystal Kingdom, uses the wand to kill the last remnants of the Doom Tree and the Dark Sailor Scouts, and then continues on to cake her Pegasus and reunite the Moon Kingdom, resurrecting her mother and her father along the way, and defeating the evil version of herself. I guess technically that's the last episode, but like, whatever.
No big deal.
Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I hate Muslims. So... when I say this, like, I'm fine with saying this. I don't, like, listen, that guy had an ISIS flag in his car, but he's probably a fucking nobody that was, like, wanted to join a band really badly, and this was his audition, right? And so for us to call him a terrorist, yeah, he had a political reasoning. Now, for this other guy to call him a terrorist, he didn't technically have political reason that we know about. So is it okay to call this guy not a terrorist until we know it was politically motivated? Because that is part of the definition of terrorism.
Technically not in Nevada, where it happened.
Okay. Oh my god. I'm going on Webster. Nevada has a lot of laws.
I was just wanted to do that to piss you off.
Yeah. It's illegal to tie your horse in front of a fucking business, 3 feet within a business in Nevada. That law is still on the books and enforceable.
I've lived in places where people still take horses into the city, so that
we
is a
get
good
it.
rule.
You're old.
I just go to Kelowna, man.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh shit, there's a horse Seattle here all of a sudden.
Yeah. Fucking. You know what that is? That's a mini Portland. If you took a neighborhood of Portland and you threw it in the woods of BC, that's what you get.
You want to hear a really interesting horse fact that I found out living in Kelowna?
Yes, I do.
Horse facts.
Can that be our official bumper, please?
Horse facts.
Horse facts.
Someone at this job I had complained about no one picking up horse shit. Mm-hmm. And then this old lady in the back, who I guess owned horses, was like, it's because when it dries out, it turns into like grass particles and it goes away on its own.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, so it's like, it doesn't just stick around. It's not like poop. It's
Good
not
thing
like
those grass particles are steaming hot in the middle of my fucking sidewalk, you selfish bitch!
For 3 days, I remember taking my dog for a walk in BC, like on a hiking trail, and there was like a few days in a row, and you could actually watch like the progression of it like fall away, and I was like, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
I once saw a dog poop a remote.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a dog puke up a quarter of weed all in one bud, and you had to wonder whose weed that was?
Did you smoke it?
No.
I would have smoked it.
I am not that desperate.
The real question is, okay, would you would have smoked it, right?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't do poo.
No, it was puke.
It's puke.
It was
Or
puke.
puke, same thing.
You do puke.
On it, like
No.
it would have been digested a little bit into like super weed. Like, I don't remember what it's called, but it like.
What if his stomach acid just made all the
Dog puke isn't as
THC
bad as
dissolve?
human puke either.
What was that?
Dog puke isn't as bad as human puke either.
It
Oh,
tastes
yeah.
less bad, yeah, for sure.
Oh, gross.
Why are you not eating dog puke? I
Yeah.
won't smoke it.
No,
but
I wouldn't eat all of it. I would
eat
use
it.
most of it for lube. It's super phlegmy. Back to
Boy.
Muslims. But even then, like knowing that I hate the Muslims and the Christians and God, especially the Jews, I think I'm going to be on a list somewhere because that.
I miss Shane tonight.
Yeah.
I miss the disclaimers because I don't think I could do them as well as him.
Oh, I think you should try. Knowing that I just dislike everyone equally. I think like everyone who's saying that, okay, this brown guy or black guy, he's not even brown, was called a terrorist because he's black, and this white guy wasn't called a terrorist because he's white. That is true in a lot of instances, and I'll 100% agree. But in this instance, it's kind of wrong because we know that we don't know that the Vegas shooter was politically motivated as per the definition in Webster's dictionary.
I would agree to that. I don't think what he did was amazing or anything. I mean, highest kill count is kind of good. You deserve a medal, but I don't agree with what it was.
Yeah, a metal slug to the head.
Metal slug to that. We got one to the chest.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I know.
I would hope they shot him in the dick so much that he died.
Or even just after.
You know what? I saw what he ordered right before he died, and I was like infuriated by it. They charged him $10 for a bagel. Are you fucking kidding me?
Did he just order a bagel?
No, he got a bagel with cream cheese. He got an Angus burger, add bacon, I think. Extra $2. Okay, he got a house soup, $10. Add potato, extra $2. $2 for a potato soup? That's a cheaper soup.
This is Vegas, and he's a high roller. You don't pay because that's what it's worth. You pay because that's what you can pay.
Oh,
it's a status symbol.
Gay. A bottle of water was like $6 or $8.
Yeah,
1 liter of water.
Status.
Also,
Status.
if they gamble enough, they get all their shit for free anyway.
No, they
Well,
in
he
the room.
paid. And know how much he tipped? $84. How much do you think he tipped?
I'm gonna
He got like 3 things.
I'm gonna go round it out to an even Hunsky.
He tipped $10.
He didn't even do a Hunsky? What?
He did a weirdly kind of cheap, but I guess that's okay tip. Like, I guess it's like 13%.
Yeah, I was gonna say
guess.
like 12 and a half.
Yeah, it's
13.
a weird one. Oh, middle range there. I'm like, dude, you're about to die. Why are you being stingy with the bus money? It's like, could you imagine you just like you have $1 million in the bank?
Maybe that's what he had. Maybe that's what he had.
No, I don't think so. Like, he still had his credit cards and stuff active. He could have tipped more because they charged it to his credit card after. And if it bounced, it wouldn't fucking matter because he's dead.
But maybe he was like, whatever money I have is whatever I'm going to spend on some shit, and then that's what he ordered.
So, like, the one morality he had is that he wouldn't overspend his money after he died.
What I'm saying is...
That's where he draws the line.
I don't want to be wasteful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. maybe it was just like a split decision. It wasn't like a planned out. He was like, man, I gambled pretty hard today. I'm going to kill some people. I should eat some food. What do I have in my pocket?
No, it charges to the room, which has his credit card on file.
Yeah.
So even if his credit card was declined when they tried to charge it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
But could you imagine your final days where you're just like, oh, hey, I'm about to die. I have $1 million in the bank. I could charge whatever I want. And then you get your meal and you're like, I'm only tipping $10. Like, what the fuck? Where you get stingy at the last second? Don't you go baller?
That's a guy who didn't expect he was going to die.
Ooh.
Maybe.
And again,
I don't know, maybe
gun runner, gun deal gone bad,
maybe he
crazy
tipped
people.
Maybe he tipped that badly because he wanted the guy to kill him.
Was he wanted the guy to kill him?
He wanted the busboy to be like, you want fuck this guy? I'm gonna ice him. He's like, that tip was a plea for help. It wasn't $10. It was like, I'm being cheap.
That was his I'm being held hostage tip.
Remember, if you ever leave a $10 tip, you're being held hostage.
Well, yeah, man. Like this
code.
tip is weird, especially for a high roller room.
Yeah.
$10. Like, if you're gonna do anything, like round up to the next dollar, like next bill.
I tipped $10 at the Sheraton. Like, come on.
Right, like if he did 16 and made it a Hunsky, I could see that.
Well, see, I sometimes tip 16 if there's a girl in the room I'm trying to impress.
Yeah,
he
had a room full of guns. He was probably okay with tipping a little bit more.
What I usually do is, as the food immediately comes in, I grab the food and be like, "Oh, I'm so hungry, babe. Can you sign for it?" And then when they go over, like, "How much a tip?" and I'll be like, "Oh, 16 or 20, whatever." And then they were at like 16 or 20, hopefully 16. If they do 20, I will never call them back for a second date. That's actually a bit of a test. That's one of the 47 tests I have during my first date.
Wow, no wonder you're going to die alone.
Oh, no. I'm doing that because of my face and personality. It has nothing to do with the tests.
You also have to understand all of these women are hookers.
Oh, okay.
So it's like if he'll get the same hooker again. Because it's cost effective.
They're not hookers if they're dead after.
Like package deals?
Well, then why would you ever call them again if they're dead?
Because I want to have a regular alibi. Be like, hey, are you blowing me off? I'm like, oh, it couldn't have been me. How do we get on to dead hookers? Oh, yeah. Vegas. I have nothing else to say about this. Fuck Vegas.
Yes. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
no, it's fucked up.
I'm done with it. Okay, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Jason Statham are doing the Fast and the Furious spin-off in 2019. How excited are we on a scale from 10 to 11?
Why?
Because Jason Statham and The Rock are awesome, and apparently Vin Diesel...
Furious spin-off.
Well, they have 9. Why not keep going? People like them.
Too much.
If I could watch it like I watched the last Fast and the Furious film, I would go see it. That I saw, not the last one.
On an iPad attached to a jet ski while you're having sex with the dead corpse of ex-president of the United States?
No, it was at a drive-in theater where I got very drunk and high and played Frisbee with a glow-in-the-dark Frisbee in between the two movies, and Fast and Furious was the last one.
Yeah, I've never, ever stayed awake during a drive-in movie. Not once. They're
Crazy,
double
man.
features. Get the fuck out of here. 2 movies? 4 hours?
2 movies. That's why there's an intermission and you do drugs.
Have you ever been to a drive-in, Kayla?
No, and that's really depressing, actually.
Well, we don't have the season for drive-ins here, really.
No, true.
When I lived in Vernon, it wasn't that far from my house. It's fucking
nice.
sweet.
Do they still have drive-in theaters? Is that a thing?
Yeah, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah, in Lumbee? No, that's not it.
I actually think they have one here. It's just not open.
Not in Alberta.
They've all shut down. All of them have shut down.
No, man. I drove past the Starlight Drive-In this summer.
Yeah, and now it's closed.
It's closed?
It closed since we started this podcast.
Closed. Yeah, I mean, for the season.
So Tyrese Gibson was on
in Toronto.
Tyrese Gibson was on Instagram. Oh, you do have him? Sorry.
Yeah, in Toronto.
How many are there?
There's 2.
But Toronto also has a population of Canada.
Fair.
So Tyrese Gibson, who plays the black guy on Fast and the Furious, went on Instagram and was like, Rock, please don't leave. Keep the team together. Blah, 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 blah. But we've been hearing reports of Vin Diesel. This seems so trivial after talking about Vegas.
Let's go on, though.
So Vin Diesel and The Rock were having, like, drama. So it, like... apparently that pushed the movie back, Fast and Furious 9 to 2020. So now they're doing like a spin-off movie so that the production company can still make money. Yeah. But they didn't want them to do the spin-off movie because if that flops, it might hurt the chances of Fast 9 getting made. So Tyrese was like, yo, Rock and Statham, or Rock, don't leave. We need you. Let's stay together and do this series. We can pull out as much money as we can and not dilute the brand with a spin-off. And was throwing serious shade on Instagram. But the spin-off is due to arrive on my birthday. My 18th birthday in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Now.
And the guy who's writing it has written all the scripts since Tokyo Drift. So he wrote the worst one, the worst one, the worst one, the okay one, the pretty good one, and the worst one.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Which one was the best one?
Fast and Furious 1. That was a great movie.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a good movie.
It was pretty good, but I don't know. I thought 7 was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said that one was pretty good.
Okay, that was the okay one?
No, that was good. The good one.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 was fun. I thought that was a very good, shitty movie.
That was the one I saw in the drive-in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as for me, I do want more Fast and the Furious, and I want them to get more and more crazy, because I think they've kind of figured it out now.
Oh, yeah.
I want them to go to space.
Go to space. I don't want them to jump the shark like that, man.
I do. I want planes. You don't want them to jump the shark? Did you watch Tokyo Drift?
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of them. I don't want to get into the details. Not in order or in even complete up to 7.
Could you imagine if you're the guy who was in Tokyo Drift and be like, hey, what movies have you done? And he's like, oh, I was in Fast and the Furious. Like, wow, those guys did 9 movies. Those are huge blockbusters. All of them made over $100 million except for one. Which one were you in? He's like, oh, I was a star of that one. Oh, man.
Garbage.
Yeah, I don't even know who that guy is. I know Lil Bow Wow was in it. What was that, sorry?
I don't even remember who was in it anymore.
Taylor Kitsch. Maybe.
Oh,
I wish.
Maybe.
I forgot about him.
He's Gambit. I'll never forget about him. Actually, you know what? Speaking of Gambit, Gore Verbinski wants to direct Gambit.
This weekend, Donald Trump made an enemy out of the NFL.
Uh-oh, I'm playing audio. I didn't mean to do this.
49ers
to make a cameo.
I'm playing a lot of audio. Okay, we're okay. It stopped. Gore Verbinski wants to direct Gambit. But why? But also why?
But also why?
But also why?
Gambit's my favorite character in the Marvel Universe. He's been number 1. And I want him to do great. So when they initially announced that Magic Mike star Channing Tatum was going to play Gambit, I was upset. Because Channing Tatum has the acting... Or at the time I thought he had the acting range of a cardboard box.
That's a fair statement.
But then I saw 22 Jump Street, and I was like, this guy's pretty good.
I also disagree with that statement.
No, 21 and 22 Jump Street were great movies.
I thought they were good, but I didn't think his acting abilities to play someone like Gambit were up to par.
Okay, so I think he can do that kind of like suaveness and like, what's wrong, Moshe? Like carefree. But he'll play it a little jockier than I'd like, and I understand that. But here's what sold me on Mr. Magic Mike. He was doing an interview very, very early. This is before Magic Mike. And he was like, yeah, who do you want to play if you're a superhero? Because you're in Step Up, you're big jacked, you're the hot thing in Hollywood. And he's like, I would want to play Cajun, Gambit, Remy LeBeau. He says all 3 of those things. And he's like, I have read all comics. I'm an absolute huge fan. We can do the Morlock story. I'm from Louisiana. I can do the Cajun accent perfectly, I promise you. I really love this character, and he means so much to me. And I was like, oh, he actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. Like, Gumbo and Cajun, those are just nicknames Wolverine would call him in the 90s. Like, that's deep cuts. And he knew them. And I was impressed as shit by that. And by that, I would be like, hey, man, you're my Gambit. You're from Louisiana. You have the look. You could. I think he looks like Gambit. He could totally do it.
Well, I normally don't turn down movie advice from you, so I'll probably go see it.
Now, and then I got really excited because I love the movie Edge of Tomorrow by Doug Liman. Have you guys seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
No, I don't think so.
So it's also known as Live, Die, Repeat. It was Tom Cruise's last movie. It's so fucking good. So fucking good. It's based on a manga, actually. It's probably Tom Cruise's best movie. Fuck all of you.
Better than Top Gun? Better than Top Gun?
Oh, that is one of my favorites.
Better than Top Gun?
You got me. I love Top Gun. Top Gun is one of my favorites. And then Frank Darabont was also rumored. Matt Reeves, who directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes, was rumored. If the guy who did the Shawshank Redemption, Planet of the Apes, or Edge of Tomorrow did this movie, it would be amazing. It would be incredible. Yeah. But then they all, for whatever, it's all studio bullshit. And they weren't able to come to, an agreement. So Gambit is still going to be Channing Tatum. He's still a producer on the movie. But we've lost a lot of great directors. So then who the fuck do we end up with? Gore Verbinski? Pirates of the Caribbean? The Black Pearl? Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy forever. A Cure for Wellness? I haven't even seen, but fuck Gore Verbinski. He directed the worst Pirates of the Caribbean, which is a bad movie series.
Yeah.
He directed the worst movie. Know what he is? He's a Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift director of the Fast and Furious series.
Wasn't that the first one? Black Pearl?
I'm an idiot. It was the first one and it was the best one. Damn it. But then he also directed the shitty ones.
Well, I mean, it was hard to live up to how awesome that first one was.
That first movie was real fucking good. Sorry, I meant to say At World's End. At World's End is the worst movie that has ever been committed to film.
I
forgot the first one.
Well, maybe not to film. I mean,
ever.
Troll 2 still exists.
Troll 2 is a great movie.
No, it wasn't.
In the wrong way.
Yeah.
That movie.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Okay.
But I was told I should do a drunk review of it.
We should all do a drunk review of that movie.
This one time when I was given too much party drugs, and I passed out, I ended up waking up cuddling a girl in a Pikachu onesie, and the guy whose house I was at...
Who was wearing it?
She was.
Oh, okay.
And then this guy whose house I was at came by. He's like, "Oh, you're awake? You want to have some opium tea and then watch Troll 2?" And I was like, yeah I do.
Oh my god. What was that like?
I mean, I've seen it a couple times beforehand, but it was pretty awesome.
Have you seen it on opium tea?
Yeah. So a drunk one, I guess. Yeah, it would be fun.
I guess.
Be
alright. I mean, it's not as badass as me, but I'll just call
I'll settle down for you plebs.
Can I do other things as well?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
You can have sex with a full-grown bear. Okay, so let's look at Gore Verbinski's directing. He's directed 2 good movies. Ever. So he directed Mouse Hunt, which was dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh, aforementioned Brad Pitt. We were recording then, weren't we? That shit was fire. We should have been. That was funny as fuck. He directed The Mexican with Brad Pitt and Aaron Brockovich.
She doesn't even get her own name. It's just Aaron Brockovich.
Whatever. It doesn't. Hey, listen, when any woman stars in a movie with Brad Pitt, they get their character name. It was like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring Brad Pitt and Tomb Raider. Yeah. Or Fight Club, starring Brad Pitt and the Incredible Hulk.
Can you even do that? Incredible Hulk came out after that.
Doesn't matter.
You gotta take one before that. Maybe like Brad Pitt and...
They can update the tagline for the Blu-ray release, okay?
Alright, I was just gonna say like American History X, whatever the guy's name was.
He directed The Ring, which is
cool.
a pretty damn good adaptation, I would say. It definitely kicked off the Japanese horror trend here and really revitalized horror movies, I think.
That movie was well done. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it only has one jump scare in the entire movie.
So we just went over 2 of the good movies that...
Sorry, Kayla, we talked over you.
I just said that movie creeped me out back in the day.
Do you know that there's only one jump scare in that movie?
Is that really?
Yeah, it's at the very beginning, and the girl, she's like, what happened to her? And then she's like, oh, we found her, and she was fucked up. And then it shows the girl in the closet with her head falling forward, and it screams, and it cuts away. That's in the first 8 minutes of the movie. And then after that, there's not a single jump scare, which is very interesting. It's all very slow.
That is amazing. I kind of against all horror movies lately because they're just jump scares. So.
I mean, that's the problem I had with it. Like, it's an amazing movie, but I mean, I could take it or leave the jump scares.
one yet.
You have to.
Have you guys seen Sleepaway? I know you've probably seen
Sleepaway
Camp.
Camp. Yeah.
Oh man, that was another movie that didn't have any jump scares.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Super easy to read what was going on.
Yeah, I love.
Except to the end, and you're like, oh, she's a penis.
Yeah,
but that is definitely the killer.
He also directed Pirates of the Caribbean. So The Ring and Pirates of the Caribbean, Crystal Black Pearl, 2002, 2003. This guy was on fire. And then he directs The Weatherman, which was not good. I mean, as far as like Nicolas Cage movies goes, it's not crazy enough to be awesome or not good enough to be adaptation.
Yeah, that was the real middle of the field for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Dead Man's Chest, shit. The first 45 minutes of the movie had nothing to do with the storyline. They were just rescuing Jack from an island that they never mentioned before and never mention again.
Yep.
At World's End, which is the worst movie committed to film ever. Rango, which was shitty, I think. I don't know. I never saw it. And The Lone Ranger is the worst movie I've seen without CG.
Was that Seth Rogen? No.
The Lone Ranger is the worst, most racist, dog shittiest remake I've ever. It's the worst remake of all time, and it's the worst Johnny Depp movie, which is saying something.
So you're saying I should watch it?
Gotta watch it.
Okay. It's on my list.
Watch it.
And then he also directed A Cure for Wellness, which I haven't seen. But if he directs Gambit, I'm basically going to kill myself.
No, you should write them a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, because those go over really well.
Yeah.
Okay, side story about it. Burger King was trying to ban it in Russia because they felt it gave too much positive press to McDonald's. Yeah, Burger King, Russian Burger King thought it would give positive press.
Russian would, they would think that.
Of course it would give too much. People would be like, oh man, I just saw this movie with clowns and I'm hungry. Let's go to a place with clowns in it. I would totally that makes sense.
Killer clowns.
Oh yeah, totally.
That, kill things.
I think the craziest thing about it in Russia is that it's not a horror movie, it's like a family film. Because that shows you how terrifying Russia is on average.
Yeah.
Because it is that shitty. Yeah. Speaking of dead people, Tom Petty wasn't dead when people said he was dead.
No, he sure wasn't.
People were for sure being like, Tom Petty is dead.
Doesn't that happen to Jackie Chan every year? Or fucking. So the thing is, let's say, he eventually did die, but when they first said that he was dead, and everyone was saying that he was dead, they were like, he wasn't dead yet. Can we make this distinction? He was pulled off life support, so yeah, he was dead.
No, but he clung on.
He was on life support for a while.
And they took him off, and that's when people were like, he's dead, because they took him off life support. You don't take someone off life support unless they're going to die or get better.
Okay, let's say hypothetically...
they were like, Tom Petty's making a full recovery. We're taking him off life support. They're like, we're taking off life support because there's nothing we can do anymore.
I would have loved if he, bounced back somehow. How he was just
that would have been...
What was that?
That would have been crazy if that happened. He just came back and everyone's like, what the?
Yeah, because everyone spread the rumor that he was already dead. Everyone already thought he was dead when he wasn't dead yet. So it would be awesome if he came back and then was like, hey guys, I'm still alive.
And then he goes on tour with Gord Downey.
Yeah, perfect. And or he creates a comeback tour or comeback album, and all the people that pretended to be huge fans of him, who were super butthurt over his death, had to buy his album, and the world's greatest marketing scheme of all time. Can you imagine that?
I am writing this down for future use.
No, totally.
I'm totally making a huge
fake
news.
My death, fake an album, guilt all the people.
Fake people into thinking I'm dying, pull me off life support, miraculous return to life, go on tour one more time, make a ton of money, sell out Rexall Place 13 times. Fuck Garth Brooks.
Yeah, so Garth Brooks sold out an arena here in Alberta 1 million times. He stayed here for weeks. He's just I'm just gonna...
Yeah, he left when other places came back. Could you imagine? My tour has 12 stops in Edmonton. I'll be here in 7 separate days.
Make sure you get your tickets to the fucking...
None of them are in a row.
I'm just gonna spend time here. He's like just setting up shop because he has so many fucking shows.
He's like, I just want to go to vacation to Edmonton. How do I make this happen and make a lot of money?
What did you say, Kay?
I said I live here now.
That's just home. You gotta talk in the middle of us. I realize there's not a time of that ever happens.
I'm just gonna start yelling obnoxiously into the microphone at some point. It's gonna be great.
I don't know why you haven't been already. That's our plan.
Yeah, that's all we've been doing. Do you not know what a podcast is?
I do, but it's easier because you guys can see each other, so it's easier to like talk over each other.
Oh,
I'm blind here.
I'm so sorry. We've never actually made eye contact.
True.
It's against my religion. Oh, if you guys didn't know, I'm Islamic.
That makes sense why you hate them so much.
Yeah, I'm a self-loathing Jew Muslim. So Game of Thrones isn't not even filming until next summer.
Yeah, they said it was going to come out like a year after it's supposed to, which is bullshit.
What the fuck are they doing in the meantime? Are they just taking like a vacation or something?
Maybe they're just waiting for the correct times.
They haven't even finished writing the last season yet, have they?
Well, I mean, okay, I guess before they had no excuse because they literally had books to work off of, but I guess now they got to kind of make it up.
Yeah.
Did he die?
He's not dead, but he
Why
may as
is
well
he
be.
writing his own goddamn books?
He's writing his book, but he's like 2 seasons behind on his book.
Well, that was stupid to make a TV series while there were still books to be written.
He thought he would be done by now. Then he realized that he's Robert Jordan. It's raining tacos. Then he realized that he's Robert Jordan, and he wants to write everything forever, up until after he dies, which is what happened to Robert Jordan.
Oh my god, those books are painful.
Those are the greatest book series of all time. I loved and learned so much from them. Recently finished them.
Clearly just recently. Those are the most boring books to read through.
Oh my god, they're the most entertaining books of all time.
There's like 100 pages of stuff that happens, then there's 800 pages of absolutely fucking nothing.
That's bullshit.
And then 100 pages where shit happens again.
That might be true for the first book and literally not true for any of the others.
Yeah, like all of them. Every single one. Man.
I read all 14. They are like literary crack. They're impossible to put down.
You must
like
than Harry Potter. Crack. Like mostly baking soda crack.
Yeah, I'm not getting good crack.
You need to find a proper homeless guy to get you some good crack.
Listen,
and then go and watch, make sure he doesn't fucking cut it with anything. You're probably getting a lot of fucking ceiling stucco.
Every episode of fucking Game of Thrones Season 8 better be the last episode of Rick and Morty Season 3. Every single one of them must be absolute fire, top to bottom, burn it down, fucking amazing. You're making me wait a whole goddamn year for it.
Yeah.
It seems like you have enough money to make teams to do this. Like, while the other one's filming, they can start writing. It doesn't take them 2 years to write one season of fucking TV.
They should accept their fate and realize that they need to make it 2 more seasons.
Or like 4. Why not just shoot the moon? Like, run it until they jump the shark.
Well, they don't.
And there's no more dragons left. And a bunch of people live cross sides. Now they have ice dragons.
Oh, cool.
No, they just need 2 seasons. One the White Walker shit.
Like Jon Snow becomes king of the dead people.
He becomes the Night King. Yeah,
he becomes the Night King. Rides an ice dragon. Fights Daenerys to the death.
Okay,
and then they have like a dragon collision, and they like fly at each other, and there's an explosion.
Why would they explode if they ran into each other?
From the dragons crashing into each other. Because they're going to be breathing their fire and ice beams at each other, so there's going to be a crazy high-speed collision. They can't see anything, fly into each other. Then they get jetted off each other, and they do like that Matrix thing where they spin around.
Yeah. That's
and
that's how it ends.
Yeah, that's the ending that people have been waiting for. People were watching the end of their yearly watch of the Matrix trilogy, and we're like, you know what would be great if the dragons did the exact fight scene Neo and Agent Smith do at the end of Matrix Revolutions.
No, that was Reloaded.
No, that was
No. I'm talking about when the semis collide.
Oh, the semis running into each other. Oh,
and there's a big explosion, and they're like spinning around. They do like the can.
Yeah, sorry, I was thinking about the Dragon Ball Z fight at the end of the film, but that's essentially all I think about all day, every day, aside from my beautiful girlfriend. How many episodes of Game of Thrones are... Oh, I took too long to speak because I am a slow... know what I do? I have the vocal presence, or rather Google thinks I have the vocal presence of that black guy from Malcolm in the Middle that takes too long to say anything.
That guy was the best part of that show.
Because like every
Except
time
for maybe Dewey.
yeah, because you just love little blonde boys. Because every time that I got to... every time that I got to say something inside of Google, it's just like, hey, Google, and then take a breath in to say it. The next thing is like, cutting off that mic. You're obviously done. You just want to look up, hey, Google. That's it. You're done. And I'm like, God damn it, Google.
That would definitely go to a ketamine site for me. Okay, Google.
Definitely.
How many episodes of Game of Thrones are there?
What,
I'm asking Google, not you. 67.
Game of Thrones' number of episodes
Walking
is
Dead
67.
has 99 episodes. By the time that Game of Thrones ends, it'll have less episodes than Walking Dead. Do you think there's justice in the world?
Yes. Walking Dead's far superior than Game of Thrones.
You are saying things now. You are saying words.
I am, yeah.
You're saying words, a bold-faced.
I love zombies getting killed. I know they're not as great as the comic books, but I mean, they got to deal with TV.
Not as great. Not as great as... Saying that Walking Dead is not as great as the comic books is like saying that Walking Dead is... That's the analogy that people use to benchmark it. Because that's how different the books are from the fucking TV show. That's how much better the books are like a literary masterpiece. And then
Can Rick just lose a hand already? For fuck's sakes.
What the fuck? Why is it two hands?
For this entire time?
Why is the baby not dead? She's supposed to die with Lori.
No, I kind of like the baby being alive.
Fuck that. Fuck
it
the
adds
baby.
so much more plot points that they can just shoehorn into it.
On television that you can do in comics, guys. Like,
no, it's not even that. It wasn't even like it was more expensive. In fact, the shit they did is more expensive.
Fucked up.
I want them to have someone eat the baby, like show a bunch of zombies stare into it. That's why they're keeping it around.
Oh, they'll never do that.
Of course they will.
I want to see a bunch
of... Never do shit with children. The most crazy thing they did was make that little girl crazy.
What are you talking about? There
kids killing each other in the first season.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, think about the stuff that happened in the comic books, though, like with the pedophile dude and shit. Like, they can't put that stuff on TV.
Yeah, because we'd be jerking off too much when we're watching
it. I thought this was only supposed to give me a half erection.
But listen, if you want to be able to jerk off to Walking Dead, just a suggestion to the producers, you need more children deaths. I can jerk off to Game of Thrones all the time, because I know kids are dying.
Well, they had lots of kids die.
Also, there's like boobs and dragons.
There can't be that many kids more that die, because most of them have probably already died because they're slow and stupid.
Yeah, they don't know how to zigzag.
Shouldn't have Arya have died for being stabbed in the stomach and falling into a river full of shit and piss and just get sepsis?
She's got money.
You trained to not get sepsis.
Yeah, you can. You eat lots of oranges.
That's right. How did you know that?
I just guessed.
Vitamin C actually is kind of a magic cure for a lot of things.
There's something I assumed. I may have read it and then just forgot about it.
So I want to know what your guys' Caleb, we'll start with you. What's your feelings on the character of Venom from Spider-Man comics?
Oh, you're gonna get me triggered, boy.
I am offended that you used a black voice.
That wasn't a black voice.
Oh yeah, that was a very Wigger voice.
That was a real black voice.
Oh,
sorry, that was me while I was talking.
That shit just got real. Yeah, no, I'm still scarred for life after Venom's portrayal in the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3, and I'm just like, I haven't forgiven the world for this yet, and I'm just gonna fuck it up again, and I don't want to talk about it because it's my favorite villain.
There's a lot of things wrong with Spider-Man 3, and I don't think Venom was one of the main ones.
Yeah,
I will agree to that. I think they could do
Grace. Actually,
I think they could seriously just do a. They could do an entire 3 movies on just Venom. I think there's so much awesomeness to Venom in that entire story. They could do 3 of that. Show an intro to Carnage in another movie later, and then introduce another 3 movies where they have to fight together against Carnage, and it would sell so much money. It would just be like, here, give us... Oh, man, I would go see all of them multiple times in the theater. I would I would have pants that would not be encrusted in semen. It just would never happen.
Well, guess what? You're exactly right. They're going to make 3 movies. They're introducing Carnage. All that shit's happening.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay.
So I was really excited. So there's some interesting things here. So I like Topher Grace as an actor, and you're saying you like him too, Carlo.
I like him as an actor too.
He's actually a really great actor, and that's why he left that 70s show. He's like, well, this is garbage.
Yeah,
I have some integrity. And then he went on to do like In Good Company and some other really good movies. So he wasn't my problem. He is not Eddie Brock.
No.
Not even by a long shot. The character he played was not Eddie Brock.
That's also true.
And he wasn't a good fit. But he's a good actor. And he did the best with the script he got. Delivering the lines he had to deliver. He did a very good job at doing that.
He did.
Is that a fair assessment?
I could agree to that. Reluctantly agree.
And I will also say that for the other film's villain, Thomas C. Howell, who was in Sideways. Is that his name? No.
You talking about Sandman?
Yeah, Sandman.
That also I could agree to. I thought he did a better job.
He delivered a good job, right?
But if they had taken any one of the villains and put them into that movie instead of shoehorning 3 of them in, the movie would have been amazing.
Thomas Hayden Church, that's his name. Not Thomas C. Howell. Thomas Hayden Church. He did a good job. Cheesy, but a decent enough job. Who did not do a good job? Every other actor in the film.
Well, yeah.
Tobey Maguire is not that. And he was not good at that. And he never has. He is a cardboard actor. There's scenes where he has so limited emotional range, like the scene where he's crying to MJ in the second one. I started laughing hysterically in theater. I stood up and looked around. I'm like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? And then people were throwing popcorn at me, so I threw my soda at them, and it was a whole ordeal. But that's how bad that is. Tobey Maguire is not a good actor. What's her name? Kirsten Dunst was only good at acting in one movie, and it's the one where she commits suicide, because that's the only believable portrayal I would like.
Oh, she's not MJ. She's like that.
So far from it.
Oh, now I'm trying to remember what that something Diaries or something.
The Virgin Suicides.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Oh, Sofia Coppola's a genius.
That was a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
And what's unfortunate, Sofia Coppola is one of the few female directors that I really love and respect. I would like there to be more, and I usually don't love directors until I've seen their movies. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman, and then I find out later that there's very few women that have directed movies. But
wasn't her last movie shit? What was her last movie?
Who? Yeah, it was really shitty. She makes weird art house films, though. Like, some of them are going to suck. Melancholia sucked, you know? But, that's just the type of shit that she makes. It is what it is. She makes art house films. And some of them are going to be lost in translation, and some of them are going to be Melancholia. And there's, like, there's no way to tell. But same with her dad. Francis Ford Coppola is the exact same way. He's totally hit or miss. But when he nails it, he fucking nails it. So my problem with Spider-Man 3 is really that. I don't like the way they did Venom. But one of the best portrayals of Venom I've seen is in a non-Venom movie. Have you guys seen the movie Life?
No.
So Life came out from Sony Pictures this year.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
And it's a great movie. It is starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds in that was phenomenal, even up to his death scene.
Yeah. Probably
one to die.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a bit of a spoiler there.
Fuck you if you haven't seen it. Go see it now and watch Ryan Reynolds die first.
Rebecca Ferguson, Ricky Sanada. Just a really great movie. Excuse me. And so what it is about a team that goes up to space. They find something on the moon. It gets in their ship. It's a life form. They try studying it. It breaks out and it causes havoc. But it can also interface with our bodies. So, at the... Oh, God. Spoiler alert. Skip ahead 30 seconds. 1 minute. So, at the end of the movie... See what I did there? I gave them warning. But now I'm wasting the time.
Yeah, you are. Just get to the point. I'm filling it in
with 1 minute. So, when they skip ahead, they get right to the spoiler. So, at the end of the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal returns to Earth, thinking he escaped the organism, but he didn't. When they open the pod, he's all surrounded by, like, the organism and shit. You knew it was coming, but whatever. And it's, like, all mutating him and stuff. But that was done by these directors as a pitch to Sony, because it's a Sony movie, to make a Venom movie. So the symbiote in this movie is technically the Venom symbiote for all intents and purposes, because this is the movie he was pitching to them to say, I want to make a Venom movie.
Interesting.
Yes, and this is the same guy who directed Safe House, which is actually really good. Child 44 I haven't watched, but yeah, he's a solid director. And then the writers of it are currently writing the Venom movie, which is Rhett Weisz and Paul Renwick. And they also wrote Zombieland, Deadpool, G.I. Joe. But they're in the current process of writing Venom.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is like a bit of a hidden prequel to Venom, is this movie Life. And I really suggest you see it. It's a really, really fun movie, and I think you guys will super enjoy it. So for Venom, here's the thing. They wrote the script. These guys are great. Rhett Reese, I mean, all of us love Zombieland, right?
It was pretty awesome.
G.I. Joe 2 was pretty great.
That
was Retaliation?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Deadpool,
yeah,
of course. I mean, we can all agree that this guy is like a legit great writer, or at least makes really fun movies, right? Paul Renwick is the exact same way. He's his writing partner, so he worked with him on all these different movies. He also wrote for Big Brother, which doesn't make any sense. But yeah, he's great too. So these guys wrote a script, but Sony didn't want that script, so they hired someone to rewrite it. Who would you hire to rewrite a script from the guys who wrote Deadpool and Zombieland? What are some movies that maybe will make the movie more Venom? Maybe the guy who wrote Conjuring and James Wan, who does The Conjuring. That'd be a good one. Or maybe someone who does like darker, grittier action movies, like the guy who wrote Casino Royale. But no, they hire the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. But not just 50 Shades of Grey. Not the one that made money. 50 Shades Darker. The not good one. Jesus. The worst one of the two bad movies.
Why you gotta keep breaking my heart?
I haven't seen either of those movies, and I think I'm a better person for it.
Neither have I, but I think I can assume that they're bad and still not sound retarded.
Well, yeah. I do believe that's a possibility.
This is what Sony does. They take a great idea and they fucking ruin it.
Get all over it.
This is an example of too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people working on a script. It's going to fuck up the Venom movie, and it's not going to be good. But that being said, who is your casting for Eddie Brock?
What, like, if I could pick anyone in the entire world?
Anyone in the entire world?
Fuck, I don't know. That's a hard one. I never actually really thought about that. I mean, when they announced that Tom Hardy was gonna play Venom, I'm okay with that. People were flipping out, but I mean, I think that's pretty.
So
cool.
Tom Hardy is the front runner lead, but I don't know if he's the best choice. Do you think he's Eddie Brock, or do you think he's just Tom Hardy?
I think he could be Venom, but I don't think he could really be Eddie Brock. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an even different question, because I was like, I could see him, but now
remember when you're playing Batman, you have to play Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but that's I wasn't even thinking about that.
That's how someone explained Superman versus Batman to me. They were like, "Oh man, I really liked what the fuck's his name? Okay, who played Superman?
Ben Affleck. Oh no, Henry Cavill.
No, Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
He's like, I really liked him as Bruce Wayne. I was like,
oh, what?
I was like, oh, cool. So he's like, yeah, he played a good Bruce Wayne, but he like didn't play a good Batman.
That's not right at all. Actually, I think he might be the best Batman given the right script.
I like Batfleck.
Me too. I like Bat. So here's my thing on Batman. Michael Keaton, amazing Batman, very good Bruce Wayne.
Okay,
he was a good Bruce Wayne. He's a very charming guy. Val Kilmer, amazing Bruce Wayne, horrible Batman, like dog shit. Oh, sorry, good Batman, horrible Bruce Wayne. Other one, George Clooney, great Bruce Wayne, might be the best portrayal of Bruce Wayne, unfortunately. Horrible Batman, just the worst. Kilmer did a good Batman. He's like a Batman-y guy. Sorry, I got mixed up. Christian Bale, amazing Batman, least believable Bruce Wayne of all of them. The least believable. He's supposed to be a comic Bill. I've never seen him smile in that entire movie.
He totally did it in that rich douchebag move. I'm just gonna call it the douchebag move.
Well, yeah, I want to buy this hotel, and I'm like, I would go up to him and be like, sir, I know you're pretending. You're probably Batman.
No, man, like,
listen, Christian Bale doesn't do casual.
No, he doesn't. But I think that's why he did such a good Bruce Wayne. Is because he everyone who's rich like that is pretending all the time.
Yeah, but
they always have that like half sideways smile
because they're not really happy.
They're not really happy.
The Vicodin smile, I call it.
Yeah.
You can't get the whole thing up, just the half of it.
Yes.
Right? So I think he played. I think he played someone who has billions of dollars and can actually do that shit real well.
Yes, you're absolutely right. He played someone who does that. He did not play Bruce Wayne. That's the difference.
I mean, that's...
He played this, like, it was great for the audience, as us, the audience, because we see this billionaire who's reserved. He looks like he's ready to rip out of his suit at any minute when he's Bruce Wayne. He looks like he's antsy to get back to Batman. And then it is an aspect of Batman, but there's also... He's supposed to be a more mature Batman, and Batman learns to control that in a way that looks effortless. Like, the point where he's so incompetent and goofy that people are like, it can't be him.
Well...
And that's why George Clooney, how he acts, that's Bruce Wayne.
The way I guess they maybe never got to that point in that trilogy, anyways. Because the first one,
they never gave him an opportunity,
right? Yeah, well, the first one was
there's only one Batman movie in the trilogy. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
just Batman Begins, and the rest are about villains.
The rest are about villains. But just even the time frame that those happen in, right? Like you see two early on Batmans, and then you see a fucking old one. You never see that. You never see him transition and be comfortable in both roles as Batman would in the comics.
Yeah, I mean, you only have so much time on screen to really do that type of stuff, though, right?
Like if there were 3 more movies in between the Joker and Bane, fuck yeah, you would have saw that.
Sure,
because he came back to Gotham from not being gone for so long, being presumed dead.
That's true.
Right into being a billionaire. He doesn't fit in, so he's got to be pretentious. He's got to look like all these things. And in the second one, it's not even that much time. It's been like a couple of years.
Yeah,
right. So he's still trying to fit into both roles, and
he just looks too old to be a young Batman. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
That being said, I still love his portrayal. Still the best one on film. But now here, let's get to our Batfleck. Batfleck can do his douchebaggy Bruce Wayne side real fucking easy. Just watch Reindeer Games.
Yeah.
Totally. That might be how Batfleck is in real life. But then he thinks about his divorce and Jiggly and all the shit and all the bullshit he gets online, and he becomes Batman so real, it's scary. He's an angry Batman. It's a very different Batman, but he plays Frank Miller's Batman quite well.
Yes, okay, yeah, he definitely plays that.
How do you feel,
especially in that role?
Yeah. Kayla, how do you feel?
Sorry, I just got terrified by a very and I missed the last part of that conversation.
Well, that's weird.
House.
What do you think of Batfleck as an angry Batman?
As what, sorry?
As an angry Batman.
Give us your assessment on the Batman. Who's your favorite? Who's the worst?
I like him. I don't think I got to see enough of him in that garbage. Well, it wasn't a garbage movie. They just tried to squeeze too much.
Movie too much?
Yes.
Yeah. And I just they should have just made it a Batman movie and then had Superman come in at the end. Like I think it would have been a lot better and more crisp. But that's just my opinion. But no, I think I'm excited to see him as Batman because, like you said, I think he can play both roles very well because he does have that sort of douchiness naturally to him in most that he plays.
Mm-hmm. So. And he also looks Batman-y.
He does, and the voice. I like the voice.
Yeah, the voice modulator. I'm so fucking happy that finally happened because it's been in the comics for 100,000 years. It was in the comics since 1986, and they haven't put it in film. I'll just talk like this instead. Get the fuck out. I think, Bale's Batman voice is the dumbest, fucking most embarrassing. It's as bad as Bane's voice. That's how bad it is. Think about it.
You didn't like Bane's voice?
Oh my! Today will be your reckoning, Gotham. Here's your reckoning. Would you like your reckoning, Gotham?
Marvin the Martian.
Sean Connery.
Oh my god, he does sound like Marvin the Martian.
Just like a deeper voice, Marvin the Martian.
Yeah. I don't know what you're thinking, Batman, but I will crush you. That's exactly it. Oh my god.
You thought you were born in the darkness.
You just simply entered. I was born in it. Molded in it. Oh no. Hold on. My favorite thing about the end of that Batman trilogy, I gotta say, because every podcast will be about Batman, but my favorite thing about that Batman trilogy, at the end of the day, is how Batman, since the very beginning, not very beginning, let's say about 1947, was an anti-gun rhetoric. Right? Or maybe 1953. Anti-gun. Guns are bad. Guns kill people. Guns hurt innocent people. That's why Batman doesn't use guns. He's not going to let it ricochet and hit somebody else. He's not going to miss and let someone die because of his mistake. Anti-gun. How do they solve the main villain crisis at the end of the fucking movie? A goddamn gun. That's the end of the trilogy. That's how to defeat the big bad for all three movies, is shooting Bane in the chest. He's like, I don't use guns. Catwoman's like, I do. Teek. Oh my god, I wanted to.
What are you talking? He gunned down so many people in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong with that movie, and that was the biggest thing.
Yeah, he killed so many people.
Well, that's all we got for news so far. We probably had other things to talk about, but we went through a lot. We spent a lot of time on how much I hate Muslims. I felt we spent too much time on how much I hate Muslims. But I have really dark.
We're feeling good, so
I feel
we don't agree with anything you say ever.
Oh, good. I feel the same way about Muslims as I do about you, though.
Oh, no.
Which I am sexually attracted to them, and I will hurt them. Emotionally. Okay, do you guys have any other news stories you guys want to touch on?
News stories? No, not really.
Personal shit?
I don't know who listens to your stuff, but I'm going to be at the comic strip at the beginning of November.
Oh, time for plugs. Let's do that. You'll be at comic strip when?
The first weekend in November, whatever the Wednesday through Saturday is. I think it's the 2nd through the 5th.
Cool. And where can they find you online?
They can find me on Facebook and on Twitter, and I don't ever use it. I use Twitter as my Instagram, second Instagram, I guess. You can find me at Comedian Miklos on both Twitter and on Instagram, and just Miklos Blackshaw on Facebook.
That's Miklos. And Kayla, where can they find you?
Most of my stuff is connected to my website, so they can just go to Kayla. Actually, I don't want to give out that name. Never mind.
Oops.
Be checked. They can find me on Instagram at KaylaQuinn_9.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for coming out to the expo. It was an awesome time. It was so cool to see so many people. Thank you for the people that took photos with me. I felt like a famous person for a day. That was really cool. I'll have to talk about that on the Uncut. So you'll have to join us for the Uncut to hear some behind-the-scenes stories at the expo. But all the panels went really well. I'm super thankful for everyone that came out and retweeted it and supported it. The science panels are tough, and they aren't easy for us, but we appreciate the hell out of all the support and the really strong support we get from you guys. And we know Edmonton was really underattended this year. It's super unfortunate. But for the people that skipped William Shatner to see us, I could never be more grateful to you guys. Thank you so much. I hope I gave you guys a great show, too. Other than that, you can find me at Achilles on Twitter. You can find us ROFLcast on Facebook, ROFLcast also on Twitter, ROFLcast.com for all your podcast needs. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, and in Android, because we are back, niggas. We have figured this shit out. So here's what we got banned for all those things. There's an episode called I Want to Fuck a Nazi, and another one called Hitler Was Right. And they're kind of a two-parter episode where I talk about like hot girls that played Nazis in movies. And also in depth make fun of Steve Jobs. And that got us pulled down, but we're back. We got them all posted back up, and I'm super thrilled about that. So resubscribe and tell all your friends and rate and review us. We have really good ratings on iTunes. So anyone who rates us, I will give a personal hand job to. Using Kayla's mouth. And that's all. Anything else?
I do not approve that message.
I approve of that message.
Yeah, let's go ahead and approve it.